Alright, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Digi Daily. I'm your host, Xanadu, and the scariest thing that's happened today so far is the fact that Beezlemon has finally evolved. Oh yeah, he's sleeping, so you can't see him. But that is a Beezlemon. I'm not going to wake him up though, I'm going to leave him sleeping. I don't like messing with the clocks on this, because we have something else to show off. The tournament has started, so I gotta wake up Beezlemon because he hasn't evolved. Yeah, well, not evolved. He can't evolve. What we need is, I have to grind. I just totally forgot about that. Left him at level 1 and just called it a day. He's gonna get his ass kicked if we fight anyone else using a DMX, which quite a few people are. So let's just try to kind of mosey on in to Area 25 and do some, do a little bit of those there battles, so that, you know, we don't completely get hammered if we do fight another DMX, because level does incorporate into how strong your Digimon is. So if I have a low level Digimon, he's not going to, you know, be really strong, even if you fight the same Digimon. Like, you know, someone else had Beezlemon X, which I know, I forgot who, but someone else has a Beezlemon X too, and theirs would totally just kill me if my level was low. So the max level for Mega, I want to say, is 9. It's either 8 or 9. I can't remember exactly. And then Super Ultimate's 10. But I gotta make sure, like, I, you know, eat a care mistake or something so that he doesn't evolve. Because if he evolves, I'll have to drop out of the tournament. Whoa. Oh, jeez. I wasn't even looking. I swear. But yeah, I just have to be careful, because again, if he evolves, I have to drop out of the tournament, which is kind of a bummer, because I don't have, excuse me, I don't have Beezlemon X anymore, so that means I'd lose him. Again, now I've lost both of them. That scene is very depressing, but his delivery is just funny. So let's get into a little bit of Digimon news. So, as you know, Digimon Re-Rise is out. They're currently doing a Halloween event. There are special Halloween-themed clash battles where you fight a bunch of Bakemon. And it came just in time, because I actually just evolved my Pumpkinmon. I now have Noble Pumpkinmon. Jeez, Beezlemon, come on, dude. The hell. But I did just get Noble Pumpkinmon, which I'm really happy about. Really enjoy his look. I hope we do see him in a VPET sooner than later, because they did make him a classic sprite. If you make him your partner Digimon and you have the widget, he does show up, and he's in a classic sprite, and he looks pretty good. I think he's really cute. Then again, who knows, it could be like one of those classic sprites like the ones they use in like Next Order, where they really couldn't use them on a newer device because they're like, they use color, so it makes them a bit harder to see when they're monochrome. It's kind of a big issue. Like if you, like in World, Chaosmon, his sprite on the Pendulum 20th is actually different than his sprite in Next Order, because in Next Order they were allowed to show color, which helps kind of shape out his model more and make it look better and make more sense in sprite form, whereas they don't have color on the Pendulum 20th, obviously, so they had to change the design so you can kind of still understand what the hell you're supposed to be looking at. So, yeah. Noble Pumpkinmon, regardless, really hope he does show up in a device sooner than later. With that being said, some other Digimon news. The newest, and it's funny because it is X related, the newest issue of Chronicle X came out. Now, I don't know if like it's an actual comic or if they just like post pictures and call it a day. I really don't know. I gotta go back and read them. But in this, like, it just dropped today. The issue that came out was pretty interesting. These two characters showed up and everyone was getting extremely hype about them, and I gotta be honest, I never heard of them before. So I did some digging and found out that the two characters that just recently showed up are actually two of the characters from the original Digimon Chronicle, which was packaged in with the Pendulum. So these are essentially the Matt and Tai of the Digimon Chronicle kind of like universe. And they showed back up, and they have new designs. They look a bit older. Like, some people were saying that they don't look that old, but honestly, if you do look at the two art styles, other than the fact that they're obviously a different art style, they do look like they could be like a year or two older. They don't look exactly the same age. Another thing about those two characters, I believe it's Kota and Yuki, or something along those lines. They're actually the characters that they picked in the D-Spirit. I always thought that those characters were random characters, but it turns out they're actually characters from Digimon Chronicle, which I find extremely interesting, and it makes sense, because the D-Spirit is the companion device for the D-Cyber, which is a reshell of the Digimon Pendulum X. Very deep cut there. But yeah, they showed back up with Alphamon and Oryumon in tow, along with a lot of Royal Knights to help out the Digimon in fighting the evil demon lords and holding them back from taking over the old digital world, which I find, again, really interesting. Digimon Chronicle X has been a freaking ride this whole way, and it's only going to get crazier because, you know, I'm excited to see how it's going to end, because it's going to keep going, obviously, after the X2 drops, because the X3 will be coming out a couple months later, like, I think in, like, January or February, the X3s are supposed to be coming out, so I'm going to assume they're going to keep being released pretty regularly until after the X3 is released. Then we'll get kind of the finishing touches, like the completion of the story, and I'm interested, because again, I remember when it's just amazing the way that Bandai did this, honestly. If you weren't aware, there is a lore with the V-Pets. It's their own separate lore. Some of the different continuities do cross with it, like V-Tamer is in the V-Pet universe, so are a couple other manga, but the V-Pets have always had their own kind of like timeline, essentially, in their own universe. And so when the remakes were coming out, some genius decided to ask Bandai a pretty interesting question that I didn't even think about, and that was, what Digimon world were the 20ths being taken place in? Because if you are savvy in your V-Pet lore, you would know that the old digital world, in which the original digital monsters up until the Pendulum Progress took place in, was destroyed and kind of replaced, at least that's what we thought, with a new digital world, which was the one in the Digimon X, and pretty much every device after the Digimon X took place in that new digital world. And Bandai actually explained that the 20ths were actually taking place in the new digital world. So there was a recreation of Files Island and File Continent in the new digital world, but also the reason why there are now Megas to Digimon that didn't have Megas in the original, and why there are also just new Digimon in general on the devices, is actually explained in lore, because it's in the new Digimon world, and those species of Digimon are located in the new world. So, really interesting, a really genius way to kind of work in the lore into the 20ths. And then, I don't know if they always had this plan from the get-go. I mean, I have a feeling they did, But either way, you know, that ended up being worked into the DMX, because the DMX is a new familiar shell, and it's a brick because this literally takes place in the old digital world that the bricks took place in. So this device is the old digital world. This is the original Digital Monsters, and this is also in the old digital world, which has been run over by a lot of evil Digimon, and they're fighting for supremacy. And yeah, it's interesting, to say the absolute least. It's just like, it's really cool. I'm just really happy that they were able to work in the lore into these new releases, because they really didn't have to. You know, they could just be like, yeah, I mean, whatever, sure, it's in the old digital world, or, you know, here's some remakes of, you know, the classic Digimon V-Pets, and that's it, whatever, leave us alone. But they decided to kind of work it in to the story, and it all came to a head with the Digital Monsters X, which is furthering the V-Pet storyline, and I, for one, am extremely excited to see where this is going to end. I think, honestly, this might end with the release of a brand new device, finally, like completely brand new. It looks different, has new monsters, although the DMX has had a lot of new monsters, but I mean, you know, new monsters nevertheless, hopefully a colored screen. But I do think this is hyping up for something completely brand new, because, you know, to bring back the old, both the new digital world with the 20th, and then bringing back the old digital world, something's definitely going to happen at the end of Digimon Chronicle X. Whether either Yggdrasil will step in and just fuse the two worlds again, or completely destroy the old digital world and send some of the ones from that world to the new one, you know, we don't really know yet. Or maybe even the old digital world will be restored. It won't be such a wasteland, and then, you know, certain Royal Knights will stay to take care of that, while others go back to the new one. We still have no clue, and I'm really interested in seeing the conclusion. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to grind a little bit more and then freeze our Beezlemon baby, and then give him like a karma stick or something. And then I'm going to go. So yeah, I'll see ya. I'll show you Betamon tomorrow, I promise. Yeah, bye. Peace.